are dictating, and they told us they're in charge. The government told us that at the beginning. The bigger you are, the bigger the breaks. So forget all these fairy tales that they taught you, folks, that in America this is a capitalist society. It's not capitalism. Capitalism has not run amok, as they like to say. Greed has hijacked the system, and they've turned it into a fascist state. The facts are before us. We're seeing with BP, and we're seeing with every other large company that's in control of the areas that they're taking control. Remember that great financial reform that we were supposed to have that never happened? It's one sector after another. Big pharma, big business, big agriculture, agribusiness, big retail. The bigs are in control.
I like your point about Corexit. It's the same advertising firms that are probably employed by big pharmaceutical companies to come up with these asinine names for these products that all have subliminal meanings.
Exactly.
Same kind of thing. Sure. Celebrex. Oh, that's the perfect example. Perfect.
I love the one for fibromyalgia.
Yeah.
They go through this whole thing, you know, they show these cartoons with all these things twisted together, you know, and then a couple of shots of this anti-fibromyalgia stuff, and then you're just dancing and feeling great. And then they give the side effects. I can't make this up. The first one is suicide. Suicide. How can you gonna take this stuff and you may want to slit your throat or blow your brains out? Yeah, so the whole thing is the country has been hijacked. And I've never spoken like this before, but I'm getting closer and closer to believe that this 2012 Armageddon, unless the people start really coming forth and speaking out and taking a stand, we're doomed. And we talk about this, by the way, Jeff, in the Trends Journal, in the spring edition. The summer edition will be out in about a week. The 20% solution. There are 20% of the people that don't believe the lines. There are 20% of the people that want to improve themselves spiritually, emotionally, and physically. There are 20% of the people that want to buy local and not save a nickel or a dime to buy some cheap crap coming from another country. There are 20% of the people that could think for themselves. The 20% party is the party for the people who could think for themselves. And when the 20% unite under a common banner for moral good, that to us is the only way the nation could go in a way that's going to save us from the destruction that our, quote, leaders, end quote, are leading us into.
Well, they're not my leader. They're not your leader.
No, that's why I put the quote around it.
Yeah, they're leading the sheep to the slaughterhouse.
These guys couldn't lead me across the street.
No.
And if any of them came and said, if Obama, Clinton, I want to put this on the record for anybody, if they were across the street and said to me, hey, Gerald, come over here, I want to talk to you. I said, come over here if you want to talk to me. What, are you kidding me?
Amen, brother. You got it. Gerald Celente, please visit his website, and if you want to know what's coming, subscribe. He's a genius. We'll be right back. All right, if you are looking at the center section at rents.com, you'll find, again, probably, I've never seen anything more thorough, and I'm not bragging, I just work that hard, and I don't think there is anything more thorough, in terms of the length and breadth of coverage of this disaster. And it is a disaster, and if they do nuke it, they may not have opened a doorway to hell, they may have opened a garage door to hell. This thing could easily cave in. I put up a video. It says, worth a second look. It's oil coming out of the seabed floor. All right? You need to take a look at that and understand what Gerald mentioned and what I've been mentioning. It's right there. You'll see it explodes. I mean, there's a little oozing, and there's a little this, there's a little that. Then all of a sudden there's this big gusher comes out. It's irregular. And it's called Another Look, Oil Shown Erupting from Sea Floor video. And look at that brave woman, that Kendra Arneson. She speaks very well, very eloquently. She's a down-home type. Her husband's a fisherman. And as Gerald has said, these people's lives are done, finished. No one will buy their homes. Where are they going to go? And if there was a mass exodus, Gerald, like some of the lunatic fringe is talking about, they're going to put them all in FEMA camps. I don't think so. First of all, there are no FEMA camps. There are closed military bases they could possibly use. Lots of those around. But who's going to stick around to watch their valuables? Nobody. There'll be a few cops, maybe some National Guard, and those who are not over there killing Afghanis. And how many gangs of roving looters do you think there'll be? Hundreds? Thousands? You bet. So, no, they don't want people leaving. They really want them to stay there. And they're going to lie, and they're going to kill people. It's real simple.
Well, you heard what the government's doing, that you can't get within 65 feet of the workers.
I know.
Yeah.
And but the formal
$40,000 fine.
Yeah, but the formal policy of BP, they keep repeating, is we're in no way hindering the press. What bullshit? What BS?
Oh, of course. This is great, by the way. I'm looking at your coverage. It's about the best I've seen.
Well, thank you.
Congratulations. Yeah, and I know when you say it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work.
Oh, well, you would know the amount of energy you put into yours is This John Clark's spin on the BP crisis is very good. May I play a minute or two of this?
Sure.
It's fun. I'll pull it up here and
yeah, fun is fun.
Yeah, these guys are pretty good. They're British and they've got a pretty good routine down on how to make light of things.
Oil spills and a struggling president.
Thanks for your time.
Good to be talking to you. Good evening.
Now, this oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico, can you tell us what happened?
Yes, we're talking about an offshore oil rig, which is, of course, a large device for pumping oil out of an oil field under the sea floor.
Sure. And what happens if something goes wrong?
Well, we're trying to figure that out at the moment.
No, I mean before you start. What are the regulations?
You're not going to have a problem. You're not going to have a problem before you start.
Yeah, but what are the regulations?
The what?
Regulations.
Can you Google something for me quickly? Relegations?
No, regulations.
Regulations? Well, Google them both.
This is before you start.
No, you're not going to have an accident before you start. I mean, it's starting that causes the problem. There is no problem before you start. It's beautiful before you start.
So you're saying is that the accidents only happen when you get going?
That's the rule.
So what happened?
Well, in this case, there was a large explosion. The rig caught fire. 20 million gallons of crude oil spilled into the sea, and then the rig sank. I mean, everything happened.
So what did you do?
Well, first things first, obviously. The first thing to do in an event like that is to underestimate the problem.
What? Underestimate the problem?
Yes,
why
because
we
you don't want people to panic. I mean, you've got to calm people down. A lot of people get very worried.
Why do they get worried?
Well, because the sea is filling with oil. A lot of people are very sentimental about the sea.
But understating the problem, surely not a solution.
Well, no, not to that problem, but first things first.
So what was solution number two?
Solution number two was to acknowledge the magnitude of the problem, but to point out that it's certainly not BP's fault. This is not our fault.
Whose fault is it?
I don't know, someone else. The bloke who built the wing nuts or something.
The solution doesn't sound very good.
That wasn't one of our better ones, but the next one was brilliant. We dropped a kind of shopping centre over the hull.
An underwater shopping centre?
Underwater shopping centre. We fitted it over the hull.
And did that work?
No, but it was a brilliant idea.
In what sense was it brilliant?
Oh, we know that doesn't work. We won't be trying that again.
What was the fourth solution?
Fourth solution is to offer to help with the clean-up. We can help there.
Hang on a second. How do you mean help? Shouldn't you be doing the clean-up? I mean, well, you're the one getting the oil out of the ocean.
We're not getting the oil out of the ocean. That's useless, that oil. How do you get oil out of the sea? We've been trying for a week. You can't be done. It's useless.
Okay, so what about the fifth solution?
Fifth solution was to pump mud down into the hull.
What with?
Well spotted. You see, that's the problem there. Ultimately, of course, relief wells is the thing we're going to have to build. Relief wells. Drill relief wells.
And when can you do that?
August.
Anything in the meantime?
Well, we've gone with a democratic solution in the meantime, which is nice.
What's a democratic solution?
Well, blame the president.
For causing the largest oil spill in U.S. history.
Bad mistake. People hate it.
But
people absolutely hate it.
And he didn't do it.
Well, he didn't prevent it, did he? I mean, have a look out there.
Thanks for your time.
He didn't prevent it, pardon?
Thanks for your time.
Regulations. No, it won't be measured in barrels. I think it's a different concept altogether. I've never heard of it either, but keep bloody looking.
Well, there you go.
Now, who is that?
John Clark. It's in the, you'll see it there. It's a video. He and his partner, he's the acid-tongued responder. His partner asks the questions, and he's done quite a number of different parodies and satires.
Now that's great. Now that really hits it.
John Clark's spin on the BP crisis. It's down. It's fairly close to the top, maybe 10 down in that box.
Okay.
Yeah, good stuff.